Well, ladies and gents, looks like we're having ourselves a little Joel Osteen week right here. What is that? That's when you're creating believers, because on this channel, sniffing is believing.
He saw what happened, what you lost, you didn't like it, but what you can't see is it set you up for double.
I'm sorry, but it's been one hell of a week so far. Last night, by the way, should I do it? I never in a million years thought I would be one of those merchandise guys, but we have come up with so many quotes. Sniffing is believing with me and my hands up on a shirt. Do you guys let me know. You send me the big signal when you want some of these quotes on shirts with noses. Pure sniff, full sniff. Is he a rat with fucking Pesci pointing at you? I don't know. Maybe with like the the logo of one of the teams on it. I think we got some hilarious merchandise that we can do. And trust me, I'm not hey guys, go to andyfridge.com, get yourself a tank top. But just because we've come up with so many absurd sayings, I feel like, I don't know, that may be a thing in the future if I have more of these Joel Osteen weeks. But last night was fantastic. I mean, the Pittsburgh Penguins over, that thing was 2-2 midway through the first. And also, you guys gotta look at those screenshots. There's a reason I put the tie no bet when selecting Pittsburgh. I wanted nothing to do with an overtime between those two teams, 3-on-3. So we hit the over. We, in my case, stayed away from the Pittsburgh result if it wasn't in regulation. And then the favorite was Sidney Crosby getting that point. Sidney Crosby with the assist. And we took the Sidney Crosby point and we put it with the Mikko Rantanen point. That player point parlay hit. And then also in that Avalanche game, I gave you the full green light to take the Avalanche. They went up 3-0 early, never gave up that lead. And it was just another very, very good night. I can live with not taking the Bruins. I thought the Bruins was a good bet. Smelled like a rat. Looks like the Rats slept in, but they woke up late enough to ruin all you Stars bettors. So they made an appearance. You thought it was a rat-free Wednesday night? No. Sometimes they're just fashionably late to the party. Dallas had a lead. Looks like it was going to be, my God, Boston's going to win. Colorado's going to win. Dallas is going to... No. Dallas is not going to win. But it was a very good Wednesday. I mean, that's a borderline great Wednesday after a perfect Tuesday and a very good Monday. This has been an unbelievable week. And I'm happy to say it, and I got some picks for you on this Thursday. We hope to continue this momentum. Hard to sustain this kind of rate, but in a week that I wanted to perform, I think I'm doing just that, so I'm happy about it. I'm very happy about it, and DraftKings Sportsbook will be even more happy if you go over there and take advantage of their promotion where you can bet $5 on any game. And despite the result, no matter if you're wrong, right, they'll credit you with $200 in free bet credits. You just got to be in one of the designated areas where sports betting is legal. You got to be over 21, no fake IDs. And if you're ticking in the middle of the night, call 1-800-GAMBLER because they got people who want to talk. They got lots of time to talk and they're waiting for your call. Okay? So looking at this Thursday slate, a lot of games, a lot of these Thursday games. I see a couple of point and Spider-Mans, I see a couple of sniffs, a couple of stayaways, and I guess we'll get right into them. The first one I'm going to start with, you got just two absolutely miserable teams playing each other, and I know I've told you in the past, if you have two bottom dwellers and they're playing each other, normally I take the over. It depends on which bottom dwellers we're talking about. I love anything with like the Sharks and something. Yeah, those will go over. However, when you got the Columbus Blue Jackets and then the Ducks, look at these two teams' goal totals throughout the whole season. I mean, we took the under on Nashville versus Columbus the other night. That was just a 2-1. And Columbus has trouble scoring, and they're home against Anaheim, who also has trouble scoring. This is the 2-point in Spider-Man meme. One's a duck, one is a Blue Jacket. And I'm going to take the under 6.5 on Columbus Anaheim. I'm sorry if it's 6 by the time you saw this. Like I told you, if you need those early access to the picks, I created a Patreon. It's patreon.com/AndyFrancis, but don't feel obligated. It's just these picks, and I screenshot them the night before. So I'm going to take the under 6.5 in that one. There's a couple other unders I like here. One, and the line might also move on this one too. I told you, anytime you see the minus 120 next to under 6.5, that's them winking at you saying, oh, it's only a matter of hours before we're going to knock this thing down to 6. So the second one I'm going to do is the under 6.5 with the Devils and the Kraken. We're not going to have Martin Jones in net tonight, but the Kraken have been playing pretty good top third defense all season long. We said that shooting percentage might be unsustainable. They scored 2 against Edmonton the other night. I'm not going to really hold that against them because the game before that against the Lightning, while they didn't score a lot, they had a ton of chances against Vasilevsky. He just had an unbelievable game. Now that they're at home against the Devils, I understand the Devils can score, but I think 6.5 is a good number. I think you're going to see a pretty good effort from Seattle after back-to-back losses. Should be a good game. I'm going to choose that this one is going to stay under 6.5. I told you I like to take unders for the most part, unless the opportunity calls for it. Where does the opportunity call for an over? The Buffalo Sabres versus the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders, they let up goals on the road, and Buffalo Sabres like to score goals at home, and they didn't give us 6.5. They gave us 6. So I will take the over on that. Then if you want a team, a lot of totals right there, because I do have another total, but I do want to give you a team first. You had Dallas. They played last night. It was a game they had to pump a lot of energy into. Ended up being a loss. They lost it late after having the lead early. Well, they have those older players, the Pavelskis, the Bens, the Sagans. They're getting back on the ice tonight against the Kings. I'm going to take them to win again. I'm a little worried because Dallas lost last night, so maybe do they have a little extra motivation? I don't care because Ottinger's not playing. He's the only guy that really would scare me. Like, what if he shuts them down completely? Well, he played last night. The team played last night, so we're getting the backup goalie. It's a couple of the elements. It's not the perfect storm, but it's enough ingredients for me to want to take the LA Kings in that particular game. And then lastly, I'm going to go back to one more over-under. You got the Rangers playing the Bruins. Bruins are playing fantastic defensive hockey. Conceded 1 goal last night, shutout over the weekend. Swayman had the shutout, and now he's back in tonight against Shesterkin. So you got Shesterkin and the Bruins coming off a shutout. Because remember, the game last night, that wasn't Swayman. So Swayman is actually nursing a shutout streak. And the Bruins have conceded 1 goal in the last 2 games. I think defensive chemistry carries from game to game. So I'm going to take the under 5.5. Low-ass total, but I actually believe that that's the right way to go in this particular game. I'll take the under 5.5 in the Bruins-Rangers. And then looking at the player props, there's 2 for you. So the Philadelphia Flyers, believe it or not, they are one of the highest scoring teams since, I believe, mid-December. I forget what the exact date was in December. And other than that one blip against the Bruins, but you can't blame them. Like, nobody's really playing well against the Bruins these days, other than the Leafs when they had that good game. But they've been scoring way more than you'd expect. Remember when we used to take those Flyers unders? It's not really working so much anymore because they are pumping in. And it's gotten so crazy that you got Konechny in the player props at 1.5. Well, here's a little Andy trick that I like to do. When I see, you get lessons around here, ladies and gents. When I see somebody at 1.5 points on their projection for like when they set the over at 1.5, I go, all right, let me see if this guy has any line mates that are at single points and if he's on the same power play as that guy who's in a single point. For example, last night we took Rantanen because they set it at 0.5 point. But McKinnon was at 1.5. They're on the same power play. So it's basically the game telling you we think McKinnon's going to get 2 points. And we're going to allow you to take his line mate at 1 point, who also plays on the same power play as him. That's one of my little perfect storm alignments. And that's what you get with Joel Farabee tonight. He plays with Konechny on the power play and on the same line as him. And if he's hot, I'm just looking to get something off that heat. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the Lightning who played last night. They got a win. Now they're playing the next night against Edmonton, who's been scoring a lot. And you know what that says to me, especially after watching how Vasilevsky played against Seattle? Over on Vasilevsky saves. I don't know what they set it at. I checked. It ain't there yet. My guess is 28.5. I'm going to take the over on that for Vasilevsky. And there are a couple money lines I like. If you look at these Philadelphia Flyers, they're actually playing very well. They have 1 loss recently, and it's against the Boston Bruins. But this is obviously their best stretch of the year, both offensively, which is why we're taking Farabee. But that money line is actually, I know it's high, so I like them to win. And two other teams that I like to win, you can pair it with either, and it's kind of like a high minus. You know, you have 2 pointing Spider-Mans in that Carolina Wild game. I think it's tough to out Carolina. Like if you show up to Carolina's building and go, hey, we're gonna out defense you, they're gonna go, oh yeah. So I really tend to think that Carolina is a decent money line selection. I think your average person looks at that and goes, wow, Carolina minus 175. That's such good value on the Wild. I gotta take it. That to me is an awful matchup for the Wild. They do exactly what the Wild do with way better player personnel. So I think that game heavily favors Carolina. And then the other minus that I like that you can combine with the Flyers would be the Vegas Golden Knights against Detroit, who I don't think scares anybody. They got absolutely massacred by Colorado. And I don't know if there's a massacre coming, but I think a loss is coming. So if you want to put them with the Flyers, I can get behind that. And those are the picks that I got for you on this Thursday. There's a lot of games, so I gave you a lot of picks. When I come out and say, not so much I like tonight, it's for no other reason than I'd rather give you few than force picks and make you a loser. I'd rather make you a small winner and then, go on to bigger days such as today. I don't know how today's going to go. I think I've bought myself the luxury of hovering around the equator for a day or two, but it doesn't mean I'm going to change the process. I'm going to do the best that I can to have a massive night for you. We'll see how it goes. It's been great so far this week. We'll look to continue that tonight. Everybody, good luck to you. Better luck to me. You subscribe to this Odd Shopper channel right here. You come follow me on social media. Did you guys forget about the race to 10,000? You want to do old Andy a favor? Get his Instagram follower count to 10,000, because then it's going to unlock more features from me and I can get more of my stuff out there and you guys can help me grow. It's what I asked for. It's what I've always wanted. I want to be able to grow my accounts to the point where I come out with something good and people will actually get to see it. And I know you guys greedily want to be, no, we want to be on the small Andy inside team.
He will pay you back double.
I can see the sniff. That's going to be the theme of today's video, see the sniff. But you come find me on social media, follow me on all those channels. It's TikTok Andy Francis, Instagram Andy Francis, you name it. And if you need those picks early, it's patreon.com/Andy Francis. And if you don't want to give me any money, I don't give a shit. You guys don't know anything about me. I already kicked someone off my Patreon because he mouthed off for like 2 minutes. That's the kind of guy I am. If you haven't learned, then you never will. Take it easy. I will see you tomorrow.